If you'd like to discuss issues raised in this episode and episodes of the future, we always have a Discord link down in the description below. You can join the conversation, and we will, in the future, post information about episodes prior to the episodes airing, where we can get your audience feedback and critique, interest, what you think about it, different perspectives on the issues. As well, we're going to be taking audience submissions for ideas that you'd like covered on the show, stories you'd like covered. Maybe there's someone that you want me to debate or have a discussion with, or just watch their video and critique it in real time. That is all welcome and more at the Free Thought Left Discord server. Join us in the conversation and help us make a more free thought left. Thanks, guys. So we've been talking about Mayor Pete Buttigieg's town hall on Fox, and if you've been following so far, you may have noticed something. Fox definitely had the kid gloves on in this one. You notice that? Probably the best example of this is how the town hall ended, and I created a little mishmash of clips here that I want to show you, and honestly, it's kind of nauseating, but I gotta show it to you because you have to see it to believe it. Let's check it out.
I suspect that with your schedule, you're not able to do much of this, but when you do, when you and Chasten are kicking back, do you have a guilty pleasure on television?
Well, Game of Thrones, so we're big on that. In fact, it's getting pretty close.
Well, I have to tell you, when I was promoting this event, I said, I want to make it clear, we will be off the air before Game of Thrones. We were also
I'm not sure I would have been able to do this.
we are also, we're going to have an Iron Throne here for you, but it costs too much to move to Claremont, New Hampshire. Do you have a prediction as to who will end up on the throne?
I don't know. I'm worried. I thought we were getting, building up Daenerys, but obviously she's made, I don't want to spoil it for anybody if you're behind, but she's made some highly questionable leadership decisions. I think it's anybody's bet right now. I'm really interested to see where the Arya plot line goes.
Cringe!
Are you going to get a chance to watch it tonight?
Oh, I hope so.
All right. What is the coolest thing that's happened to you or done in the campaign? And I don't mean politician cool, like, oh, I got to talk to the people of New Hampshire, but real life
this
cool.
This is cool.
Something, yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something that you kind of pinched yourself, and I can't believe I'm...
The people you meet, from voters who come up to you on a rope line to had an opportunity recently to visit with President Carter, who we're all wishing well, by the way, as he's recovering. Before
we go, we would like to give you a chance, a final 30, 45-second closing statement. The floor is yours, sir.
Great. Well, first of all, thanks again for the opportunity, and thanks to everybody for being such a great audience. I suppose I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't begin by saying that if you like what you heard but you want to learn more, since we covered a lot of things, but an hour goes by fast, I'm hoping that you'll go to PeteForAmerica.com and learn more about our campaign, learn more about my positions. Look, what we're trying to do here is different because the moment that we're in is different. I get that a millennial Midwestern mayor is not what leaps to mind when you think about a prototypical candidate for president. But I also think we're living on if it's hard to figure out what's going on right now, it's because we are living on one of those blank pages in between chapters in American history. And what comes next could be ugly or it could be amazing. And I believe running for office is an act of hope, and so is voting for somebody and supporting somebody and volunteering for somebody. I hope you'll join me in making sure that that next era is better than any that we've had so far.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you. Wow, a standing ovation. Thank you, Mayor.
Wow, a standing ovation. Oh my God, mega cringe, dude. I mean, I almost couldn't sit through that Game of Thrones shit, dude. Like, it is mind-boggling how this guy has just come the fuck out of nowhere, and some people actually think he has a snowball's chance in hell. First, okay, let me address the elephant in the room here. That no one, okay, maybe a few people, but very few people who is serious about Game of Thrones was excited for that last episode. No one. There is currently a petition with 1 million signatures to redo the entire last season because it is such a disappointing piece of shit. And I mean, this is kind of why. I mean, maybe you disagree with this. Okay, we'll agree to disagree on that. But what a shit show this last season has been. And If you didn't figure that out at least halfway through this season, I got nothing for you. We're just gonna disagree on that. But cringe through that entire part where he's talking about Game of Thrones. I really want to know what happens with the Arya storyline. Are you buying this? Are you believing this? On a more serious note, though, could you guys have coddled his balls any harder, Fox News? Could Chris Wallace have more of a man crush on this guy? Like, if you go read the comments on this video, like I said before, I honestly think that there's like a bot farm putting these comments out or something, because they are like the most just... The dislike ratio on these are usually pretty bad, or at least it's like 50-50 or something like that. But there's so many comments at the very top. They're all the ones at the top are positive and just talking about how Pete is just, he's such an intellectual, such an amazing intellect, such a nice, genuine guy. Pete is my president. And I haven't heard that from anyone on the ground floor. I haven't heard that from workers. I haven't heard that from family members that are Democrats. I haven't heard that from fucking shit. So I don't know, it feels artificial, and it feels like Fox News threw him 24 softballs down the center of the plate during this entire town hall. Do you remember Bernie's town hall on Fox News where it wasn't a one-on-one conversation with one guy who's like coddling his balls the entire thing? There's two interviewers with him, and they were both, from the very beginning, they were confrontational. And one of them got into repeated arguments where they're just like yelling at them and be like, but that's wrong though, but that's wrong. Just nitpicking him and nuance trolling him every single fucking question. And this one, it's just like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how handsome do you think you are? It's like, fuck off, David Wallace, or Chris Wallace. I'm getting my names mixed up here. But what's the coolest thing you've got to do on the campaign? He specifically said there, not just, meeting voters, but just cool things that happen. And the first thing that comes out of his mouth is like, oh, but the voters are the best part. And just a voter coming up to me on a rope line or something. You got, your guess is as good as mine. I honestly have no fucking idea what he's talking about there. And the part at the end where he's like, what we're trying to do is different. What? How are you any different from Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, or any of the Democrats in the last 30, 40 years? How are you any different, dude? This entire town hall, you gave 2 fucking policy answers. 2 in the entire thing. You gave 2 policies. Most of it was just generic platitudes, cliches, well, I'm going to fund education. The opiate crisis is bad. Oh my God, you are an explicit repeat of the last 2 Democratic presidents. You are modeling your campaign clearly after Obama. Either you're modeling it after Obama or you're modeling it after Beto O'Rourke with just less and ums. And that's even worse. Beto O'Rourke is fuck out of here with that shit. The part though, this took the cake. We're living on a blank page in between chapters of American history. What I'm running on is an act of hope. How full of yourself are you? How dedicated are you to not telling us a single thing you're in favor of? How dedicated are you to being a stale piece of white bread? Like I said, he's Beto O'Rourke, just better spoken, better coached maybe. I don't know. I still can't tell if he's genuinely just a really centrist dude or if he's just super duper coached. And it could be one or the other, honestly. Neither of them makes him appealing, though. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how genuine he is. He hasn't said not one thing has come out of his mouth that makes me the least bit interested. And I have a bit of a conspiracy theory to talk about here. Like I said, Fox News was very soft on him in this, and I'm genuinely curious at this point if he's not their preferred candidate, because they know that he is a terrible candidate, and they want him to win the Democratic nomination. And I don't know to what degree Fox News could actually influence who's going to get the nomination. I mean, if they think they can, they're sorely mistaken. But it does seem like they were the softest to him of any candidate I have seen so far. And admittedly, I haven't seen all of the town halls. So far, he was treated just, I mean, compared to the Bernie town hall, it is measurably better. They fucking loved him, and the crowd seemed more stacked to me because all of the questions were like real softball questions, like I said, or maybe they were just handpicking them. And like that one kid, he's going to Harvard, like, so the one millennial is like super elitist, and I don't know. This might be the Piper strategy, ladies and gentlemen. They may be trying to hoist this guy up because they know if this ends up being the nominee and he goes up against Trump in a debate, oh, forget about it. He will get ragdolled by Trump. He will get eviscerated on the public stage by Trump. Trump will fold this motherfucker like a paper towel. It will be an astonishing defeat. It'll be like a Mortal Kombat fatality. Like, oh, please don't nominate this guy. I mean, I don't have to plead with you. It's not happening. There's less than zero chance. But just get out of here, Pete. Get out while you still can. Get out before you become more of a public embarrassment, dude. At this point, I feel bad for you, man. You look like you are way over your head. Okay, you are drowning right now in the Pacific Ocean. Swim to shore. Swim to shore. Get out of Dodge. You don't belong here, son. You just don't. So that's all I got to talk about with regards to Pete today. We may come back to this guy. We may not. All right. Kirsten Gillibrand's town hall is coming up. I believe... Oh, no, Yang's hasn't happened yet, I don't think. His is coming up. I think it's next week. So we'll definitely cover that. Yang is one of the candidates that I think is fairly strong, a pretty strong candidate. I like him on a lot of the issues. Some other ones I disagree with. Right now, I'm tentatively in full support of Bernie. I think Bernie is overall the most well-rounded candidate. So he's my guy till further notice. But yeah, Pete is just, he's flailing in the wind, just flailing in the wind.